Welcome. The Fresh Air is Overrated, the weekly source for anything gaming with Wild Matt and Curbs.
And Steiner.
Against air.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo, welcome to Fresh Air is Overrated. I am failing all over the place right now. The music's cutting in and out. But hey, I'm Wild Matt. Fresh Air is Overrated, episode number 264. Hey, 64. That's a video game thing has that, right, Matt?
Yeah, it's like Nintendo.
Oh, Nintendo. Oh, I couldn't think about it. I got it. I got it.
They need to bring back putting numbers on consoles. Just saying. I think it'd be funny. Like ridiculous numbers, not like PS1, 2, 3, 4. Like ridiculous.
I don't know how I feel about the 64 name. I liked the Super Nintendo name. The Super was a cooler name. That's just my opinion, though. One man's opinion on the internet.
That's Wild Matt's opinion. And I'm Mac 19.
Oh,
my
what?
opinion is put numbers on things.
Yes. Like March 2nd. That's a number right there. 2018, another number. And Friday is the 5th or 6th day of the week, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
If you love Jesus, it's Sunday is the last day.
That's how I was raised. But technically speaking, Friday is the beginning of the weekend.
Oh, yeah, no. Sorry. Sunday is the first day if you love Jesus. Sorry. My bad. Not the last day. It's the first day. All right. Megascripture.com. VODs, MP3s, go there. They're all there. 360p video, 720p video. You can all get it there. If you want to subscribe to the HD video podcast or the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict, or whatever other apps are out there for podcasts, because they pretty much all use the iTunes list for, the podcasts.
Yeah, they do, like Cam Twist. I know not Cam Twist, was a podcast twist, Mix. I can't remember. There's like a bazillion.
One of my favorite ones was called, I think it was called Pod Pocket or Pocket Cast.
Oh, Jesus.
Something like that. But it costs money. That's the only thing about the podcast apps on Android. You all got to pay fucking money for them, which is fine. But
want to know something even more ridiculous? Windows podcast app?
Yeah.
You probably don't, because no one fucking uses Windows.
No.
But they because I removed from play on that, they just use the Apple iPod format for their RSS and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like everyone just does. That's the standard.
That's where everybody puts their podcasts. So it's kind of where you want to go. And if you want to watch us live, YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, we're all there. Megascripture TV is our channel name. All right, games are playing. Hey, spoiler alert, I didn't play anything this week.
Well, I kept playing more Monster Hunter World, and I've been going hard on that. I've divulged into the level where now I've beaten the main story mode, and now I'm at what you would call the real game. Whole Destiny syndrome, as they like to say when you get high levels,
So yeah, you've played 40 hours, and now's the time. Now's the real game right now.
I actually did it a lot slower. At 40 hours, I totally believe someone did that, and Japanese played 10 probably. But it took me about 60 hours to get to endgame. So
no, I hate when games are like that. It's like you got to play this for at least 8 hours, and then it gets good. That was Assassin's Creed 2. That's one of the reasons I hated Assassin's Creed 2. They wanted me to play that game after Assassin's Creed 1, which was the same crap for like 40 hours. And then you get to play 2, and you're like, we're going to tutorialize the shit out of this thing at the start. No, I already know everything. Oh, man. Assassin's Creed.
The thing about Monster Hunter, though, is like it's a grind game.
Yes.
So the reason they call it the end game is because, now you can actually grind to get anything. Before you were just grinding till you could get to the point where you could grind to get anything.
The thing about Monster Hunter is it kind of went the other way, right? It started super grindy, and it's kind of going down slowly, very slowly. And with Assassin's Creed was the other way around. Just, no grind. Oh, okay, no, everything's a grind now. Fuck off.
Yeah, but hey, you can pay to make things go faster.
Sure. That's every game nowadays.
Have that yet? Luckily, they still are traditional in that fact.
That's Capcom. Someday.
Yeah,
someday when they need money.
Yeah, but right now they definitely optimize it to where the grind is easier.
I wish I was into Monster Hunter, but
it's only good if you have buddies to play. Yeah, I guess you could pug up with Japanese players, but they're just so efficient they take down monsters in a minute. It's
I can't even be bothered to play Destiny 2, so Monster Hunter. That's even more.
I would love if an MMO came back and grasped me again. I would like to have that game that I play has like a religious thing.
It's
Monster Hunter's kind of filling that void, but not in the same way.
I think it's just a different time. Like, I think people are really wanting World of Warcraft to just be better looking now, and just the thing that people want with that game right now is just let us do whatever we want with it, and that's what they're doing, right? You can basically go back to the very first version of World of Warcraft right now if you want to.
They did announce at the BlizzCon that they're working on World of Warcraft Classic. Yeah, it's not out yet. So
it's not out yet. But
that's actually, you know what sucks the most? That was the thing I was most excited about. Isn't that sad?
Well, so the Classic is cool because you can switch between servers and switch between expansion packs. Like, that idea is pretty cool. Like, that's an idea that they should have done right off the bat. But whatever. Yeah. MMOs and RPGs, not really my thing.
Hey, man, they had to crush like 40 personal private servers before they got that message across.
Everybody's on 2 servers now.
Yep, exactly. And pretty much, yeah, that's what I've been playing Monster Hunter World. I've enjoyed it. I'm like at the end game. I'm on the tempered stuff now, so which is really cool. I'm pretty much working my way through to get the armor, a better armor set, and then from there I want to unlock that trans mod feature where I can make my armor look like any armor in the game.
And then you could just carry the stats over, kind of a deal.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool.
So I can have the best armor, but then have it look like a different armor that's actually shitty, but looks better.
Yes. So let's go to the new releases. I'm actually going to bring this one up first. Part-Time UFO is a game made by HAL. Is it HAL Laboratories? No, wait. HAL.
Yeah.
Is it Laboratories? Anyways, they're a Nintendo developer, and they made an iPhone and Android game that is out right now. You can just look it up. Part-Time UFO. I don't know if it's free. I should have looked that up before the show. The Blob 2 is out on PS4. Is this the first The Blob 2? Was there the Blob 2 before?
You know what? I'm not even aware of that, to be honest.
Well, because the Blob was a Wii game that was pretty cool at the time, but now I don't remember how old 2 is. Anyways,
I don't know what to tell you. They have it on. They have a game called the same thing on Steam.
Okay, so then it is probably old. Gravel is a game published by Square Enix, and it is a racing game for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. It looks very pretty. That's the only thing I can say about that game. It looks nice.
Is there gravel in the game?
Yes.
Okay, yes. That's the most important thing, obviously.
Puyo Puyo Tetris was out on Xbox One and PS4, but it is out on Steam this week. That is Puyo Puyo, the jelly bean game where you have to match 3, mixed with Tetris.
Yeah, it's cool. And it's just like the Wii version, right? Her Wii U version or whatever.
Yes, whatever. It came out on a bunch of shit. I think it came out on everything.
Yeah, I think it even's on it's on. I wouldn't be surprised if it's even on Xbox One, to be honest.
Because this is Sega, so it's on everything. They put their shit on everything.
That's a cool game. I like the whole. There's like a versus mode where you're playing Tetris, and you go switch back.
No, you're literally playing both games at the same time. It's weird.
Yeah, exactly, and it switches back. It's so cool. I like that versus mode.
Super Tetris on the Super Nintendo had Dr. Mario on it as well, and it did that in that versus mode. You could play Dr. Mario and Tetris at the same time. It's crazy.
Oh, snaps. Fancy.
Yeah, that game. I don't think a lot of people know that Tetris is on the Super Nintendo. Even though
didn't know that.
That's one of my favorite versions of Tetris. It's fucking so good. All right.
I always play Tetris on NES.
NES and Game Boy are probably the 2 most well-knowns. But
yeah.
That Game Boy one's really good. Payday 2 on the Switch. Old games. Go get them on the Switch because there's a lot of them.
Oh, yeah. They're also working with they're waiting for like that service to come out because that's what's going to allow the voice chat feature. Right now, they're waiting for Nintendo to be like, "Yeah, does this work? Is this approved?"
Everybody really just go on Discord on your phone. We're good. We're good. You can do it right now.
Just do it. Just go to Discord.
You have to use your phone on the Nintendo thing anyways, and you pay money for it. So why not just use Discord?
I have a game that came out this past week too.
Huh? Sorry, what?
I said I have a game that came out this week too.
Like what?
It's on this list there. You heard of Moss?
No.
So that's a new VR game from Sony that where you play in a third it's a third person perspective. You pretty much like a storybook style. You open up a book and then you guide this mouse character along, and you're like a figure that guides the mouse through their adventure.
That almost doesn't look like a VR game. That's how
it does.
That's how cool it is.
But it's like you're a mystical character off in the third person, sort of, So that's really cool. And they also just lowered the price of the PSVR as a sale. I don't know if the sale's still going on, but that will help out too if you people are interested. That's one thing I wanted to say. It looked really sweet.
Yeah, there was a bazillion games out this week, so I didn't want to bring up all of them, but there you go.
Oh yeah.
There's
oh,
one
yeah,
that I
know.
did
oh,
not
I
bring
know.
up.
God, there's like fucking Steam alone releases like what?
Oh, I never bring up
100 a
Steam.
day?
I literally never bring up Steam unless it's like a you know, a known developer or publisher. Then I'll do it. All right,
Yeah.
let's go to the gaming gaming news of the week.
Oh yeah, this first one you're super excited about, I bet.
Yes, this happened last week. So Burnout Paradise City for the Xbox One, the Xbox 360 and PS3 is getting a remaster for the Xbox One and PS4. Also the PC, but the PC's at a later day. We don't know when yet. But this is March 16th. It's like in 2 weeks.
Close. I know. I like when developers announce it like soon when it comes out.
So this is the first time that you can get Big Surf Island on the PC. That expansion never came out on the PC. This will have everything. All the cars, all the DLC, everything is going to be in there. Looking gloriously HD, 4K, 60 frames.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the 60
man.
frames because it already looked pretty smooth on the PS4 or the PS3, sorry. But now at 60 frames, I'm in. That's awesome.
It's going to be buttery smooth, and it's really interesting too because I think what was it? I don't know if it was I think it was like a shareholder meeting. I think Activision said that they're going to take the time to release more old games and remaster them.
I don't know how
that's
many
what
old
it
games
was.
Activision really has that I would be interested in that they haven't done already.
It might not have been Activision. Actually, now that I think about it, it was somebody who
Because
who has-
Activision did that Banjo-Kazooie thing, and they're doing Spyro right now. What else could they fucking be doing, right?
True, yeah. So it's gonna be interesting that we're gonna see more and more remasters come out, which is a good thing, you know, because it's like.
Well,
it
here's why
feeds the
I
nostalgic.
think Burnout Paradise City specifically makes sense. The online in that game is fucking amazing, and it's really hard to go back on the 360 or the PS3 and find people to play that game with. So
Yeah, they become ghost towns.
yeah, and straight up, a game has not really been like that online since then. It's weird. Like Need for Speed has kind of done it, but it was the same developers. So you literally just push the D-pad, you go, I want to go online, and then you're online. It's fucking amazing. It's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Freaking
it's coming
great.
out March 16th. Ghostbusters World is going to be a Pokemon Go, but for Ghostbusters on your phone.
Yeah, I was watching that trailer for when it released. When
Yeah.
they first released that trailer, I was like, "Oh my god, yep, this is Pokemon freaking Go." I think we're gonna see this more and more pop up now because Pokemon Go opened that door.
But then,
And you know what?
but
This
then-
one makes sense at least.
well, imagine this, okay? You spend like $60 extra for a backpack with a
no.
hose attachment on it, and then you get more ghosts with that thing.
Oh my god, if they
Yeah.
do that, that would be the best and worst thing ever. Because it's like, but I like this idea. I saw it, like, you know, this is an IP that it makes sense in at least. You know, hey, go around, catch ghosts and stuff
Mhm.
like that. I just hope we get variety of cool ghosts, not like lame. Because the one thing about Pokemon, even though the game itself, yeah, you could say what you will about the graphics and how laggy it is, but at least they have a wide diverse of Pokemon they can use. They've got to have a lot of good, interesting ghosts. Because if they're just doing Slimers all over the place, that's going to be lame as fuck immediately.
Slimers and the Stay Puft Man. Who else?
You better be like a special event.
Yeah, you have to go to New York on this day. Yeah.
On Halloween on this day.
All right. Hey, 12-year-old Peter Raleigh Rancher Variety. So he streams Fortnite. He wasn't that popular, but then somebody that is popular in Fortnite was streaming alongside with him, and he sent a bunch of his viewers down to him. So he actually got super popular this week on YouTube. He was like trending on YouTube. He was up there, but that came with some bad news because some asshole decided to swat him.
Yeah, swatting's still a thing.
Well, swatting. Somebody just died not too long ago from
Yep,
swatting.
we
So
were
like,
talking
what
about
the
that,
fuck
like,
are
3
we
weeks ago.
doing? What
Yeah.
is people? And it's what somebody else got shot. Video game related. Oh, he called him to his house. Oh, I think he got robbed, like a gaming system or something, and he said, "I'll go to his house. He has a gun." And then they went to his house and they shot him.
Oh Jesus.
So yeah, that's the world we're living in now. People take shit into their own hands and don't go, "Hey cops, he stole my video game system." They go, "Hey cops, he has a gun," and then they shoot him. It's a sad world we live in. Sad.
Yeah, you know, this has become more and more common, the swatting thing, and you know, it sucks. It just sucks that especially the newbies, like, yeah, I'm getting views, and I'm probably gonna make money, and I could probably do this for a living. Oh wait, someone swatted me. These are the drawbacks.
Oh hey, you know how I was saying how the Switch has old games all the time?
Yeah.
Well, the Xbox One has some old games this week. Turok 1 and 2. Both of them. Those games are not good.
Oh yeah, they're not fun. I actually, funny enough, I replayed some old Turok games the other day on the N64. Yeah, that's not. Those aren't really fun anymore.
No, at the time I kind of got the appeal, but even back then, Turok was not that great.
Yeah, it's like going back playing GoldenEye. Yeah, it's really for the nostalgia. It's really not a fun thing to play.
But here's the thing about GoldenEye. I feel like GoldenEye was so early, and so it set itself apart from other games. You could shoot people in the crotch in that game.
You can.
It's amazing.
You can.
The only thing that separated it is like, ooh, dinosaurs, cool.
Yeah, that was like the cool. Hey, it had a cool crossbow and bow and stuff. That was cool.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was all bad, but in terms of gameplay, it was pretty much all bad.
Yeah, I liked like the thing I liked about it most was the dinosaurs and the crossbow and the world it was in itself.
It was like
poop.
it kind of reminded me of like a dated Quake.
I guess, yeah, I could see where you get that from.
Yeah, that's kind of why I never was into Turok.
GoldenEye on mouse and keyboard. Then, now that you mention that,
sure. There is the HD remix of Turok on the PC if you want to go get those. Wouldn't be surprised if it's actually the same thing as the Xbox One thing. All right. So talk about Xbox One. This week they had a pretty big update. They added the resolution of 1440p. I like that resolution because if you can't quite make it to 4K, that's the next best thing.
Pretty good.
They also added a new music volume to apps while you're in game. So if you want to listen to Spotify while you're playing a game, you can actually play with that volume separately than your in-game music. And then also you can have a virtual controller on Mixer. So you can select somebody in your audience and Mixer, say, I want them to be the second controller. And then somebody can play the game on Mixer with you. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, isn't that sweet? Well, I'll say that for what Microsoft's been doing with their streaming platform and everything, it's actually pretty freaking amazing. And having that tightly integrated with the system, there's the cool benefits we can get from it, you know?
That's insane. You can literally program it to be on your keyboard, on your mouse, or if you have an Xbox controller plugged in, you can just play with an Xbox controller. But
you know what? Also, if you want to get tinfoil hat about it, if that feature's in there, that means that literally, even if you're not streamer, not even have anything like tied in, like they have the ability to just randomly take control of your
If somebody
game.
wanted to hack and was smart about doing that, they could totally fuck everything up if they wanted to.
If someone wants to take the time to figure out how to type, I'd like to think Microsoft has safeguards that not any home fuck can like do that.
I want to say that the Xbox One and the PS4 has had this before, but this is just it's on Mixer. Like you're playing the game on Mixer on the stream.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The one thing about the 1440p is that's for all Xbox Ones, not just the X.
All Xbox Ones.
So that is a nice little significant bump. Unfortunately, games I don't think will take advantage of that too much, but
because the S can do 4K, can it? Or is that only with movies?
I was told that that's only for video. It can't do games 4K.
Okay,
it can only like videos and the UI and blah,
and it
blah,
does
blah,
HDR,
blah, you know?
so that's still a benefit there.
Yes.
Actually, that's a good question. I don't know if 1440p is on the regular now. That's a very good question.
Standard. If they announced it has 1440p resolution, I totally believe the original Xbox One they could probably get that going.
Yeah, I'm assuming that YouTube 1440 would be no problem on an Xbox One.
Yeah, I feel like there should be no limitation for the original to do anything video-wise. Like, obviously games, they ain't gonna do poop, but
4K though is it's pushing it a little bit. Diablo teased for the Switch. So more.
So was this a rumor? Or I heard people talking about it.
If you go on their Twitter, Blizzard's, there's totally like a little clip up there that makes it seem like it's for the Switch, but it's not totally obvious yet. But the way that they made it, that clip, it's like it's coming out like a plugin. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it definitely seems like it's coming out to the Switch. And why not?
It's a new hip viral marketing strategy they came up with to get everyone talking.
Hey, more old games, Knack. You remember 3D Realms?
Yeah.
Well, so they're making a game called Iron Maiden, and it's based on the same engine that they've always used since the beginning of time. So yeah, if you look at this game, it kind of looks like Duke Nukem, but smoother, more action. It's just a better looking retro game. So a lot of people have been doing that nowadays with especially shooters. And this one looks interesting, and that's all I can really say about it.
Yeah, because what's that one where you're like a wizard and you get different spells and the rooms are randomly generated? Shit, That reminded me a lot of. Like,
Is it a
older-
2? Is there a number 2 at the end of it?
Fuck, it could be in it. I don't fucking know.
Shadowrun 2?
No, it's not that.
Okay, then I
Like,
don't know.
whatever. Anyways,
Then I
that
don't know.
game reminded me of old first-person shooters because the way you navigated through the levels because they get generated.
I love the look of old first-person shooters because they had to like fake 3D. So a lot of that stuff back then looked very interesting, and all the games looked very weird. Like the way you would like turn around a corner would look different in all the games back then. Now everything's in actual 3D, so when you turn around a corner, it pretty much looks all the same in every game.
Yeah, those older classic ones, man. It's the feeling about it and the exploration you did because of it was the faux 3D was very interesting.
Mhm.
That's what made them popular, you know.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember a game called Faceball 3000?
Nope, never played that or heard of that.
That was on the Game Boy and the PC. It was basically you were just like a big sphere and a smiley face walking
Okay.
around, and you were just shooting other smiley faces.
Wait a second. I think I've actually played that before on the PC. That's
Yeah,
what that game's called.
Yes.
Wait, no. Was it? Yes. Okay, because I did play that before. I played it on the Super NES with
Mhm,
that
yeah.
stupid adapter to play Game Boy games.
Yeah. Yep. That Game Boy version was not good.
Although I also think I think they had a Super NES version too, though.
It's possible, but I don't think.
Holy shit! I can't.
so.
I've actually played that before, Wild Man. Holy fuck! That's what the name of that game is. I played
Yeah.
that when I was like bumfuck young.
There's a few DOS games that people have played, and you just don't know the name. And then
I
you're like,
remember
"Oh,
being
shit."
so pissed over playing that game, trying to beat it, to shoot the smiley faces.
Well, there was no end to that game. I think it was just you just shot faces over and over.
Okay, that would explain all my frustration because I tried to end it, and no matter what, it wouldn't
And
end.
I'm
So
pretty sure there was multiplayer in there too, so you could shoot each other if you wanted.
there was because I used to play with my buddy.
Yeah, that was the most fun in that game.
Wow,
Playing
I
it alone
can't, you just
sucked.
blew my mind. So that's what that fucking game is called. Now I can finally go back and play it. Time for a new video on the site, boys and girls.
So hey, interestingly, right now, if you spend $100 on PSN this week, so this week right now until Sunday, I believe, you will get a $15 credit. So basically, you'll spend $85,
Yeah,
and then you'll get a free.
they're doing a lot of promotions. They had the promotion with the headset, and then they've got this going. Sony's been going hard.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff that Sony does that I really like. PlayStation View. I wish I could get that here. I fucking wish I could get that here.
I hear a lot of good things about that. I have no need for it. I have no interest, but I can see the value in it.
Mm-hmm. Blue Mammoth Games, the developer behind Brawlhalla, a pretty popular, like how could I? It's Smash Bros. Like. Well, they've been acquired by Ubisoft. No details on how much money, blah blah blah. We don't know anything. We just know that they acquired them, and we don't know what their next game is. We don't know what's going to happen with Brawlhalla yet. We don't know anything.
Yeah, we do not.
That's all we know. So, Counter-Strike Global Offensive skin gambler, he was also a streamer, James Phantom Lord Varga. So he got banned from Twitch a long time ago because he had that gambling site where you would gamble gun skins and all that on that site. And
Okay, he was one of those major. I was about to say because I have not seen gambling issues in a while, so this must have been from the past.
But he was also streaming, and he was not telling people that site was his, so that's why they banned him. So,
so he was one of those. Yeah, I remember this when this happened. Now, yeah.
Yeah. So, but apparently, the weird thing is he's saying that Twitch breached their contract when they banned him, and they banned him improperly because he's saying that this group that outed him as a gambler and owning the site, they didn't have the actual proof that he did run the site. So he's saying that Twitch went off false information, but he's also not saying that he didn't run that site. He didn't say, "Hey guys, I don't run the site." Like he straight up, he never said that. So
yeah,
I'm
it's one of those
pretty sure
legal
that he
things,
ran.
man. It's like at the time you had no proof, so at the time when you did this, it was illegal to accuse me. Yeah, her to assume.
I feel
Yeah,
like he probably
these
should have
legal
defended
loopholes, man.
himself a while ago. Now is not the time.
And by the way, he has a contract. He's talking about terms of service.
Well, terms of service, yeah.
Okay,
That's
because he's
technically a
had a contract with Twitch. I didn't know Twitch was writing up fucking contracts.
Mm-hmm.
The good old terms of service.
I don't know if this was a date before, but May 25th
Yeah,
is when.
Twitch has got to do something, man, because they're getting. It's a side tangent. I'll probably talk about it after the news, so I'll make a little note for that.
Detroit Become Human, May 25th. I don't know if that was the date before. I think they just said May or soon. But there you go. If you want to play a game based on androids and I guess they're just robots.
Oh,
They're
is
not
this
even
that
androids.
stupid same people who did the? Yeah, this is that one.
Yeah. What's that game called again? The Heavy Rain.
Like Heavy Rain. What the fuck? David Cage games. Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
Yeah, dude. I was super. Here's the thing. These games, I just want to. I hate to say this. I'm a guy who just likes to watch the things for these because it's like, yeah, let me see how cool this story is, how it could branch off.
No, I mean, I liked playing Heavy Rain. It's just.
Did you play that Ellen Page one?
No. But it's just spending full price for that. That's I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's out there doing these sort of things because it's cool.
Sure, but he's also putting himself out there with all the bullshit he's dealing with right now.
Yeah, what are you
and this game is weirdly enough dealing with the same problems that he's dealing with. Like if you look at like, is this actually a woman or not? Can I do whatever I want to her? She's a robot. I don't know. Yeah,
exactly.
So he's
he
kind
was
of
having.
that shit.
Wasn't that game having some issues a couple months ago? Because I don't know. It was some sites saying how the standard. Oh, this is showing that women do this and that, and it's abusive, and kids shouldn't. It's abusing kids. And then I was like, dude, this is ridiculous because it's literally a branching story. You can do the route where you're not a complete dick,
and it's fucking art.
Yeah,
right?
it's weird how it's just the standard people raging on the internet.
It's art and it's all voice acted, so it's not like you actually had a kid there seeing somebody get beaten up, even if it is fake and acted, right? I'm sure if you're a 5-year-old and it's still acted, that would probably have an effect on you. But if you're voice acting, you don't even know what the fuck you're voice acting. You can just say to the kid, "Hey, you're very sad. Something's going on. You're mad. Can you try to put some emotion in there?" Yes, there you go. You don't even need to tell him what the fucking context of the scene is.
Yeah, I think the thing they were more mad about was the whole like, it'll trigger people who've had abuse and child abuse
for sure.
Blah, blah,
fucking
blah.
When you play Halo, okay, and somebody starts teabagging you and say, "I just raped you," okay, and if you've been raped, that might trigger you. But like, how is that the game's fault?
Yeah, exactly. It's just the normal bullshit, pretty much, is what was going on. Because it's like, because the problem with the articles that start, they never even talked about. Oh wait, it's a branching story. You might not even see this, or you could choose not to do this. And
if you have your past be triggered so easily, look, I've dealt with so much shit in my life that I don't want to talk about on the show. Okay, but there's a lot of shit in drama and a lot of television that directs like. It literally connects to me. There's so much of it that's like,
of course.
And I could be like, oh, this show's, it's offending me. I should stop, like, what the fuck? And I could just stop watching it. But that's not what people do, They go on Twitter, they complain. It's just like, come on. Either stop watching it or grow up.
If you're interested slightly, don't let possible child being murdered / beat up deter you, because just check it out. It's probably be a really sweet game.
And it's a game. It's not real life.
Yeah,
let's realize
that. Those poor zeros and ones, man, they have rights.
Yes, man. All right,
have rights.
So another hilariously bad iOS bug got revealed this week. So there's an Indian character in the Telugu language. Only one character. If you type it in an app or anywhere, it will crash the app. It will crash the phone. There's a bunch of different things that happen depending on what app you're putting it in. So this is the second time.
A recent thing?
Yes, this is the second time I remember iOS.
What did they possibly change to allow that character suddenly to break the phones?
I don't know.
So weird.
I don't know, but do you remember there was another bug like this?
I remember. There was the calculator thing too. If you did they had the calculator bug too that would give you the wrong number.
And if you put it on a certain date, your phone wouldn't work anymore.
Yeah, they had that one too. Yeah, they had a bunch of little things. Yeah, it's weird. It's interesting how the programmers miss this stuff out. They're human, but it's just very interesting how, because I'm pretty sure that didn't happen before, because the Indian language had to be on there for a while.
Especially on a phone, because you would think that like a phone OS isn't, it's not huge. It's not like fucking, 4 gigabytes or something. You want to make it as small as you can so it can run fast.
I assume at this point it's just, it's like every other major company. There's no R&D anymore. It's just develop it, make sure it just literally doesn't blow up the phone, and then put it out there and let the people try it out to find out.
Oh, it ended up blowing up anyways. Whoops.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We got another bug here from Xbox, huh?
Oh, yeah. So everybody's real life names got revealed. You just turned on your Xbox and whoops, I saw everybody's real names. So this did not affect everybody, but it affected a large amount of people. So that sucks. Making it easier to get SWAT in 2018. Great. Great.
Exactly. Man. All these bugs, man. So here, like, they're starting to see the drawbacks of having just your information on every little thing. Before, you just didn't. You just could just play your PlayStation or play your Xbox, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, they gotta collect data and they've got to make these features better for you and blah 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 blah.
Here's what I do with my stuff now.
The trade-off.
Here's what I do with my stuff now is, I replace my credit card every like 2 to 3 months, anyways. So, like, a lot of places have my information, but it's outdated information. So have fun with that information, because literally everything right now is outdated. If you go on my Xbox One account, outdated. It doesn't even have my right address on it. So have fun.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yep. I just buy the cards.
Yeah. This is probably the biggest news story of the week. It's related to Trump, video games, the SRB, the shootings that happened, all that good stuff. We can talk about it. The loot boxes. So this is pretty much what everybody expected was going to happen with the loot boxes after the governor sent the open letter. So they're going to have right below the rating, it's going to say in-app purchases or in-game purchases. That's it. There you go. We solved the loot box problem.
Well, it's going to be a little bit more in depth. That they're going to actually have, like, because this is going to address more than just the big box games too.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually going to have options on there too, in terms of, oh, well, is there a way to unlock no ads, things like that. They'll have more than that. That's more for the mobile people, obviously. So it's nice that they're going to have. More
the mobile. The SRB doesn't police the mobile. The mobile already has.
Oh, they don't, but they are going to have bullet points for those things going forward.
Like the mobiles already all have that stuff, in-app purchases and blah blah blah.
Yeah. So, but it's nice that they're going to do it themselves. So I don't think there'll ever be a major box game that will have to have that bullet on it, but you never know.
Oh, literally every game will have in-game purchases on the box. Like, literally, you have to put it on all the games, because all the games have in-app or in-game purchases. So
yeah,
I can't even think of a game that doesn't. Fucking, what's it called? Let's just look at a Switch game. Payday 2 on the Switch probably fucking has DLC that you can pay for.
Monster Hunter doesn't have any in-app stuff, but unless you count DLC down the line.
And that's not.
They're giving away the first one for free.
That's another thing. What if you release a game and it has no DLC off the bat, right? So do you have to put that on the box, or if you have DLC coming out in 6 months, do you have to put it on the box? It's weird. It's a weird one. I don't get it. Whatever. Just to get around some bullshit. That's the one thing I've said over and over on the show. We do not need government getting into anything anymore. Get them the fuck out. We don't need regulations for anything. Get them out. Unless it's for oil.
ESRB does a pretty good job, and it's not a government entity. So
no. Unless it's for like oil spills or something, then yeah, okay, put regulations on that. I don't want oil spilling all over the place. But in terms of video games, who the fuck is it hurting? No one. That's the answer. No one. Unless people are physically throwing discs at people, then yeah, okay, maybe they're hurting people. But that's the only way. So President Trump, though, this week he did say that he was going to meet with members of the video game industry to talk about the safety and all that relating to guns and gun violence and all that.
I wonder who the fuck that is.
So the ESA, which is the Electronic Software Association, which governs pretty much all of gaming, and all of gaming is a member of the ESA. They said they're not aware of such meeting. So
yeah, like pretty much that's a big group. Like then they do most of the lobbying for big people and stuff. They run E3, blah 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 blah.
Literally, the biggest company doesn't know anything about this. The company that would know about this doesn't.
You might just meeting with Joe Schmo, who runs a YouTube channel down the street.
Yeah, sure.
That's his video game industry, folks.
We're meeting with Mr. Activision and Mr. Microsoft today to talk about video games.
Michael Microsoft, you know?
Yes. Microsoft's too busy curing polio and other diseases right now to be talking about video games. So
it's very interesting. You know, it's the same old Trump, you know. What are you going to do? He's just going to say things, blah, blah, blah.
I actually don't think it's the same old Trump. Look, Trump is still a jackass, but I think he was way more of a jackass than he is right now.
He had to ease off because once he got in there, he was like, oh, shit, I actually have to do things.
I feel weird about talking about this because I think some people are going to hate me to saying anything good about Trump.
Well, the thing is, man, it's normal politics. Everyone is more mean during the campaign, and everyone's not who they are during the campaign.
No, it's not even that. You look at Trump right now. Do I think he's the smartest president ever? No. Do I think he there's a lot of fucking open positions that shouldn't be open right now that he fucking should find somebody to do that fucking job. There's so many embassies on planet Earth right now that has no American ambassador. There's no one in there. So if you're in that country and you want some sovereignty or something's going horribly wrong, you're fucked if you're American. Anyways, Anyways, there's so much going on with the that government, but I actually think that Trump is actually kind of doing good for the U.S. overall, because look at all the talks that's happening right now with video games. That would have never happened with fucking Obama. They would have just been like, who cares, black guy, we don't care about video games.
In retrospective, Obama really didn't do anything. He did the Obamacare thing, and then that's all he kind of did in his tenure.
Look at the gun reform right now. Trump is at least talking about it. It might not be the best talk, it might not be smart, but he's not just saying hopes and prayers and get better. He's actually trying to find some solutions. You might not agree with his solutions, but there's way more talk about this shit right now than ever before. And yes, the kids at that school had something to do with it. The population as a whole has something to do with it. But Trump is also helping a little bit. He's not totally shutting the window down and saying, the NRA is going to fucking run everything, brother, and fuck everyone. And that was the attitude before. It's just weird. I feel so different. I feel weird about Trump because I'm 50-50 with Trump. He's a dick, but there's some things that he's okay with. And I feel that way exact same way about Trudeau. Okay? Trudeau is very liberal and smart, but he does a lot of fucking dumbass shit.
Wait, isn't that the Canadian guy?
Yes, that's our quote unquote president.
That guy who I don't know, I'm not familiar with Canadian politics, but did he like spearhead that whole we've got to have 40 names for people now?
Oh yeah, yes. Yes, he's super progressive, and that's what I don't agree with. Really him. I do not agree with it.
Literally illegal to call someone the wrong.
If you go,
how you doing, sir? I'm a woman. I can now sue you. I'm like, oh shit.
Go look at he went to India not that long ago, and you should see what he was wearing. I'm like, dude, Indians don't even wear that shit. Like, you're super Indian right now.
Oh, was he like doing some stereotypical like outfits or something?
Yeah, like some Bollywood, musical where everybody's just gold and red. It's weird. That's what he was wearing.
Wow. I wonder why he decided to go so stereotypical.
For me, I honestly wish that somebody could be as much of a dick as Trump, but also be kind of nice like Trudeau. Like I want somebody that's like half.
Interesting. So they just get together, Wild Matt, and they do the fusion dance.
No, them together is a disaster. Them together, no way. Them together, they don't mix. Oh my God, no.
No fusion dance.
Well, here's the thing about Trump. Trump doesn't seek people's approval at all. He doesn't give a fuck. He'll say whatever, blah, 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 gone. I'm doing my thing. Trudeau's the complete opposite. He loves the approval of the people. He loves it. So
I bet he does. From what I hear,
it's an interesting time that we live in.
Yeah. So going back to this whole video game thing, it's cool that he's going to definitely, I don't know who he's meeting with, but he's meeting with somebody. I wonder. Well, obviously, nothing much is going to come from that because it's such a complicated issue. Because state have certain powers over things. The president really can't do much at the end of the day. If you're like, he can just veto some things and maybe do an executive order. But at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff with video games that come down to the state.
And I want to say one more thing about Trump and Trudeau. The funny thing about both of them, I both don't think they should have ran for their position. Trudeau.
I don't think Trump thought he was going to win, to be completely honest.
Okay, exactly. But Trump only ran because he saw an opportunity. And same with Trudeau. He only ran because he fucking saw an opportunity and he used his last name. A lot like Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Trudeau is a cool last name.
Well, Trudeau, no, so we had a...
was he a famous person? I have no contact.
So his dad was a prime minister that was pretty popular in the 70s.
Oh.
So he pretty much used that to cruise right in.
So is he... Okay, Canadian talk that. So is he not above the Queen?
No.
How does it work?
No,
Canada is very weird.
So I don't think there's any countries that actually are
so why is the
by
Queen on your shit
anymore.
then? Is the Queen
we respect our past.
Okay.
We're still part of the Commonwealth, but I don't even know what the Commonwealth does anymore. Because
I was watching that one video that kind of went viral. It tried to explain the UK where Britain is, and they had a whole graph like here's Canada, then here's this, and here's what the Queen has, and here's how the government. I'm like, holy shit. The UK and the Britain and everything, and then how Canada fits in. It's all very complicated.
Oh yeah, because New Zealand is it? Oh no, Australia.
Australia technically is still under.
New Zealand is also Commonwealth.
Man, it gets confusing.
Yeah.
It gets confusing.
So that's it for video game news. As far as you can tell, we're pretty much talking about other shit now.
Yeah, I wanted to swing back around to the Twitch thing. So, recently they had their whole, we're changing all of our terms of service and stuff and how the rules work on Twitch and everything.
They've done that a few times.
Oh my God. I don't care about, I'm not going to go into the nuances. I don't have particular issues with what they picked out. Everything. I just have a general overview and a general idea of what I got out of that. I was like, holy shit. At this point, Twitch is fight. Here's how I got it. I feel Twitch is trying to fight so hard, not just have cam girls come on and just take over the platform, that they're like working so hard. But at the same time, since they are based in San Francisco, they'll be like, oh shit, but we got to be very PC about everything though.
Well,
it's getting so ridiculous that they got to be like, well, if you're on the beach and you're doing an IRL stream, then it's okay to have this much cleavage. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. At this point, Twitch, just rebrand, become Justin TV again, and just say, fuck it. That's what I say.
So every time I see a Twitch terms of service change, I always go, I look at it, and I'm like, whoever's coming up with these rules clearly never go on Twitch. They clearly never go on Twitch, because the rules should all be about racism. Don't be a racist in the chat. Point, end of discussion. There you go. That's the one rule on Twitch. Don't be a dick in the chat room, because that's the only bad thing I see on Twitch. Now, okay, granted, there might be that dude who had the gambling site that didn't disclose it, and
all the main issues that they seem to try to address are like the PC politically correct issues. Like, oh man, we gotta make sure.
Okay, and here's the thing. Okay, when I first started streaming, right? I was like 16 or something, 17, whenever all that shit started. Okay, I looked at cam girls and I went, oh, they're stealing all my viewers away. Oh, they could be coming to. Okay, first of all, that's so wrong. That's so wrong. I'm 30 years old now.
True, yeah.
I do not view it that way. Look, anybody who goes see a cam girl on Twitch that's playing games are never going to come on this right now to listen to us talk about video games. Never. It's not going to happen. So
people are going to be drawn to what they draw
zero.
To. Yeah.
Zero. So the people who get really that pissed off about it, they're probably young. And if they're not young,
because at the end of the day, like the golden rule is, okay, yeah, they have the marketability advantage. Oh shit, it's a hot girl with the tits half showing. I'm gonna click on this. But if they're not doing something good and it's not something that the people aren't gonna stay, that's just what comes down to it.
The only advantage girls have in video games is maybe streaming. They don't have an advantage when it comes to programming. They don't really have an advantage when it comes to playing the games themselves. It's it's mostly going to be a dude that's going to be good at a game. I'm not saying that girls can't be good at games. There's Scarlett. She's very good at StarCraft, I hear. But that's generally that is the truth.
Yeah, just so generally women aren't as competitive. That's just what it comes down to.
Yes.
But then there's not outliers, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just very interesting that Twitch works so hard to try to be politically correct as possible, and then at the end of the day, they're not really addressing any because it's not really necessarily truly really bad issues other than people being dicks.
Mm-hmm. All I want to say is that this is the one advantage that women have in gaming, so give it to them. Whatever.
And I still feel Twitch at this point, just change to a general streaming platform already. You're already slowly trying to do it. Just fucking do it already. Bite the fucking bullet. Just become Justin TV again.
And even the girls, who don't show their boobs and whatever, booby streamers, whatever they're called, even them, they still have an advantage over the dude.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So just be a girl, just be good at video games, and I don't care. I'll care more that you're bad at video games, and if you're bad at video games and you have a funny attitude about it, I'm probably gonna watch you actually.
So if Twitch ever finally bites the bullet and becomes just Justin TV again, what would the name be?
Just Justin, why not? But
I think it'll be. I think it'll just be Amazon live streaming.
Sure.
I think that's gonna happen. I think that's gonna do because look at where Twitch is going. They've adopted so many generalities of what other sites do, and honestly, what a lot of cam sites do with the whole bits and the cam girl sites invented all that shit.
Yes.
And at this point, it's why are we even having this gamer scheme? Most people, what most people do nowadays? They set it to IRL, they talk, and maybe play a game for 5 minutes. That's what most people
do. I was doing that on Twitch before that was allowed. All right.
Exactly.
All right.
So that was my 2 cents about Twitch right now and why they keep changing their freaking they're just I don't know, they just need to commit to something here, and it's every time they change, I know they're trying to help with their terms of service changes. Mm-hmm. It's just it just comes off as they're just trying to not get sued.
Oh,
which is not a problem necessarily.
Every time I look at their rules, it's just you clearly don't use Twitch. You clearly don't use Twitch. It's just what the fuck are you even talking about?
Yeah. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing they were bought by Amazon. I don't know. Good for all the workers.
In the long run, it's good. In the long run, it's 100% good.
Bad for just the site just people who visit the site and maybe
Honestly,
some workers. I don't know.
I've talked shit about Twitch already. I don't need to do it more.
Yeah.
Before Amazon, I just thought that Twitch kind of became like they started thinking that their shit didn't smell.
Yeah,
Does
a
that
little
make
bit.
sense?
Yeah, I can see where you're getting that from.
Just a lot of the people who worked for Twitch just seemed like arrogant dickheads that were just, dude, you know that this could explode any minute, right? And now that Amazon bought it, it won't. But it was so weird throwing like extravagant super parties. Like, let's just show up at a bowling alley and play bowling. I'd be fine with that. Instead of spending all the, like, do you remember that? Oh no, you weren't there.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they were looking in San Francisco, and if you're not trying to show that you're a big baller, you're not going to get bought up by people. So it's a mixed bag. I kind of agree with you, though. I see what you're saying. They didn't really need to do all that, but hey, in the end, it worked out. They got bought up.
Like,
they got the dream.
They
got the dream, Wild Matt.
I went to that a PAX party that they did that one time. Well, they do it every year, and there was like
you went to a PAX party, yes.
There was girls hanging from cloth on the ceiling, like dancing, you know, like the cloth. Ceiling.
Silk performers.
Yes.
Those are cool.
Yes. And there was a bunch of other shit, and it's just like, holy crap, this is expensive. It's cool, but it's expensive.
All right, so you will never be their accountant / their controller.
No,
no. If you were, you would cut off all the funding to these events.
Yes. No more back massages. No, just fucking work, you bastards.
Yeah, I think that more revolves around that they were based in San Francisco and they were trying to get bought up. But it definitely, I'm with you on the whole. Yeah, it has a third party looking at it. Doesn't seem really necessary.
I'm not against it. I would love that shit, but
oh yeah, no one I actually think is like when it's happening is really against it. But yeah,
it's just right now it's interesting with Amazon. I don't know what the culture's like entirely because I haven't been on Twitch as much as I used to.
Yep.
I just know that it's still a shithole with a lot of people that are not nice on it.
Yeah, and it sucks the most too. It's just like, man, they're really trying to solve the chat issue, and they really can't. I don't think they ever can.
That's impossible because there's just way too many people. That's the problem. You got too popular. Sorry.
Yeah, the only thing you can do is sub only. Even if you do sub only, people just buy it really quickly, say their thing, get banned, and then
and then sub again, and then
and then you try to IP ban them, and they go, "Well, I'll use a VPN."
Use a VPN or my router. There's what is that router called? You can buy a router that just changes your IP when you want.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but it's
There's a couple. There's like a lot of manufacturers make that.
Oh yeah, but there's a specific name. I just don't. I'm blanking.
Oh, there's a specific product you're thinking of that's drawing from your memory.
There's a name for those routers. I just don't remember. Anyways,
unfortunately, I don't know the terminology. So
I love those. And again, I'm blanking on the name, but those routers that you can plug multiple internet connections into. So I'm switching my internet next month, right? So I'm going to have 2 internet connections for about like maybe a week or 2. So I'm going to have 2 fucking internet connections just blazing speeds.
They're load balance routers. Yes. I have one. Yeah, I got one because I used to put my business connection in there and then my residential. And then it was like, 10 megabits faster and like 3 megabits upload better.
Cool. Yeah.
That's my little side to topic / actually, that was more of a rant really. On Twitch right now.
The good thing about living in Canada is the ISPs here. There's a lot of them. There's a bazillion of them. So I'm switching, and not only am I getting better speed, I'm getting it for cheaper.
Wow, I wish that was like that in America.
Yeah, I'm saving $20 a month, and it's faster.
That doesn't happen here, Wild Matt. There's usually one person to choose from, so that's why it's really sad.
So I can literally subscribe to myself on Twitch and still pay less.
You can.
I'm not subbing to myself though. That's not happening.
Sub to yourself.
All right, I think we're gonna wrap up. That's it for this week.
Alrighty.
Not too much news this week, to be honest. It was kind of just overtaken by the shootings and people talking about that.
Yeah, in terms of video game, really the only thing that was kind of big was maybe the whole ESRB thing. Yeah, that's about it. Everything else is just normal. Hey, this is happening type of stuff.
Yep. Hey, video games, they're still happening. Weird.
Video games every day. Has to quote someone else, it's the best time to play video games.
Who is that exactly? Who says that?
I'm quoting from Giant Bomb.
Okay. I thought that's what you were quoting from.
Yeah. That's good old Vinny Caravella. Yes. It's the best time to play video games right now.
He's pretty
kinda-
funny.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess he is. Yeah, I guess he is. Yeah.
He and Dan Reichert are my favorites.
Oh Jesus. Here
What?
we go. Time to suck Giant Bomb's dick.
Oh, I'm not sucking anybody's dick. Ben on Giant Bomb, he's okay. He's not. He's a dude. He's there.
Yeah,
Jeff-
the young people are gonna have a rough time regardless.
Jeff is the reason I go there.
I know that.
Oh no, I like the girl that they have on East.
Abby Russell.
Yes, Abby Russell. She's pretty cool. I like her hair. It's a badass
You like
hair.
the yarn? You
Yeah.
like the yarn? Yeah. Giant Bomb, hit us up. Collab.
Yeah. I totally didn't steal that idea from you to do quick looks. I totally didn't steal that.
Yeah. That's okay. Let's Plays are Let's Plays, to be honest.
Yeah, they're all the same. I was doing
Yeah.
those videos before they were doing it without voice. So suck it. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2007 on YouTube.
Yeah.
Back when 240p was the only quality setting on that bitch.
Yeah. That's how it works. Old school.
Oh man. Yeah, the internet's fun.
Indeed it is.
All right, well, we'll be back next week, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. What's that in Pacific? 3 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, that's about 3 p.m.
Yes. So thanks for tuning in. We'll be back. See ya.
Yep. Peace out, homies.